Good evening and welcome to the Newshour agenda. I'm Madhav Gopalakrishnan. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 days since Sanatan Dharma cauldron was first stirred, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has for the first time weighed in on the debate. As per sources in a meeting with his Council of Ministers, the PM has sent a clear message to leaders to take on the vilifiers of Sanatan and counter criticism with facts. Now this comes even as two of India bloc's leaders, Udhayanidhi, Stalin and Priyank Kharge, have been booked for allegedly outraging religious feelings. An FIR has also been filed against two in Rampur in Uttar Pradesh. However, both the leaders have dug in their heels, with the Congress president's son saying that he wasn't speaking of Hinduism in particular.
I don't care, they can do what they want. My statement is very, very clear. It's not against any particular religion. I have very clearly stated that any religion that does not preach equality, that does not ensure the dignity of a human being is embedded in that philosophy, it is not a religion according to me.
Now, these remarks come even as seniors in the Congress have been seemingly walking a tightrope while trying to sidestep the anti-Hindu tag. But there are more within party ranks who continue to disparage Sanatan Dharma. Today, Karnataka's Home Minister Parmeshwara questioned the origins of Hinduism, and after drawing flack, issued a clarification that he's himself a Hindu and had no wrong intentions.
Hindu Dharma, yavar huttu, yaar huttisidru Hindu Dharma, innu question mark bidide, tagdilla question mark. Bauddha Dharma ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ, ಜೈನ ಧರ್ಮ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಇಸ್ಲಾಂ ಧರ್ಮ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಕ್ರೈಸ್ತ ಧರ್ಮ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲದರ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಮನುಕುಲಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಬೇಕು. ಇದನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಧರ್ಮಗಳ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಒಂದೇ. ಹಿಂದೂ ಧರ್ಮ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡಿಪಾಯವನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದೆ, ಶಾಂತಿಯ ಮಂತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಅದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಥರ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡಲಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಿ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಲಿ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಯಾವ ತಪ್ಪು ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಹಿಂದೂಗಳಲ್ವಾ?
And if this wasn't enough, a video surfaced of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah himself. On the 31st of August, he had recounted an incident from the past to allege discrimination at a Kerala temple, drawing a sharp response from the BJP as well.
ಬೇರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರೋದಪ್ಪ, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರೋದ ಅದು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಬಿಚ್ಚ. ಈ ಆಚರಣೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಆಚರಣೆ ದೇವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮಾನವೀಯವಾದಂತ ಆಚರಣೆ. ದೇವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕುವೆಂಪು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ,
every temple has its own customs and we must respect. Christians have that, Muslims have it, Hindus have it, and within the Hindu community several sects have it. If you want to go to the temple, you adhere to that. If you don't want to go, you don't go over there. But there is no point in making unnecessary comments over that, why I should, then don't go over there. It is like creating indiscipline as well as bringing disaffection among the people.
It's very unfortunate if a CM is airing such non-factual statements. As we all know, Kerala follows a tantric sampradaya in temples and everyone is required to take off their shirts. Not only any particular people, or there is no privilege and no discrimination in this.
Now, amidst a slew of criticism from Congress leaders targeting Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma, BJP has questioned the party's intent and strategy.
क्या आपके नेता अगर मिस्टर परमेश्वर ये कहते हैं और आपके अलायंस सहयोगी उदयनिधि ये कहते हैं कि हिंदू धर्म एक डिजीज है, तो मैं याद दिलाना चाहता हूं कि एटम बम के आविष्कारक रॉबर्ट ओपेनहाइमर को गीता में प्रेरणा नजर आती है। अगर इन सारे लोगों को इसमें ज्ञान नजर आ रहा है और इस कांग्रेस के लोगों को और इस गठबंधन के लोगों को इसमें डिजीज नजर आ रही है, तो डिजीज इनके दिमाग में आ गई है, उसमें नहीं है।
This is a deliberately thought of strategy by this UPA coalition of dynasts. I want to ask Rahul Gandhi, what does he, because he goes around the world 5 times a month, 60 times a year, traveling abroad and arguing that India's constitution is under threat. Rahul Gandhi should apologize for the conduct of 2 of his coalition members.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
For more on this, let's take this across to our guest. Joining us, Vijay Prashad, BJP spokesperson, is live with us. He's, of course, the spokesperson of the state of Karnataka. Dr. Sanatan Dharma Row, author, is with us. We also have with us Karan Verma, author. With us also is advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst. Joining us also is Abdul Razack Khan, political analyst, as well as Ravi Srivastav, political analyst. Abdul Razack Khan, let me start with you first. Mr. Parmeshwara's comments, then his withdrawal of the comments. Many are wondering why he made those comments in the first place. What is the whole point of questioning the origin of Hinduism? Now, we all know it's not an Abrahamic faith. We all know the evolution of Hinduism. We all know that it refers to a way of life. It refers to Sanatan Dharma. And all of this happening on a day when the Prime Minister incidentally is believed to have told the Council of Ministers to counter on facts all of these repeated statements that are coming in from different leaders of the India Alliance. What is the idea, Abdul Razack Khan, in your view?
Madhav, Modi ji, Mohan Bhagwat ji, Sadhguru, known author Vijay Sehgal, all these people, including the Supreme Court of India, has said that Hindu is not a religion. So there is no problem in Dr. Parmeshwar questioning the origin of the religion. If Hindus are true followers of their own religion, they should know the origin of the religion. If he has questions, somebody should stand up and answer. When the Supreme Court said that Hinduism
then why has he withdrawn his comment, sir?
It is a way of life.
Why has he withdrawn his comment?
Petition or a curative petition.
Why has he withdrawn his comment? Say that I did not intend to hurt anyone. I'm a true believer. Why has he withdrawn his comment? Tell me that.
It is being used. The BJP is using it politically. That is the reason he has withdrawn it.
Because he has given them an opportunity to use it by saying it.
There is absolutely, it is not controversial. Madhav, the word Hindu is more to do with geography, nothing with religion. The Persians, the Arabs who were trading with India, those people gave the word, they derived this word from Sanskrit, saying that people living the other side of Sindh river are called Hindus. Sindh Nadi ke us par jeene wale ko Hindu kaha jata tha. So from there itself the word Hindu is derived. So now if the question is where is the origin of Hindu religion, let anybody stand up and say like this is the time that the Hindu religion. Now when it comes to Christianity,
Dr. Anand Ragnathan, let me before you go any further, sir, let's stop there. Let's stop there 1 minute. Dr. Anand Ragnathan, the word Hinduism originated in Persia. Please, please respond.
Good evening, Madhav. My dear friend Mr. Razack should clarify whether his ancestors came from this side of the Sindh River or the other side. If they came from this side, they were also Hindus. But let's look at the statement that has been made by the congressman in the context of how Congress has perceived Hinduism and Hindus. So while this particular Congress minister was wanting to be too clever by half by saying what is the origin of Hinduism, yes, technically he's right. Nobody actually knows. People have made conjectures whether Rig Veda, the date of Rig Veda is 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, certainly 1400 BCE. It is the oldest philosophy known to mankind. And there is no set date like for Islam you have or for Christianity you have. So yes, I mean that's, in one sense, that's the greatness of this, that it is a way of life. Hence, religion is an offshoot of this way of life. Hence, there is reform that is possible. Therefore, you have mutations, good mutations, bad mutations, but accumulated adaptation, and that is how Hinduism has survived. But for Congress to question this and then later on him apologizing for it is a clear history, because let's be very honest about it. And I'd like to take a couple of minutes because I don't want people to lose the context of this, especially in light of what has been happening and what Stalin has been saying and other people have been saying. Congress, Madhav, has a history of Hindu phobia, and it is both in your face and subtle like it was today. Many of its leaders, I dare say many on the panel as well, deliberately call Yogi Adityanath as Ajay Bisht, name that he renounced after he became a yogi in accordance with his Mutt and Nath sect, but they will never call the evangelist Mother Teresa by her real name of Anjes Gonjes Bojahu, will they? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Remember recently the statement by Congress leader Jarkhioli that Hindu is a dirty meaning and Indians would be ashamed of it. And by the way, Madhav, who did Rahul Gandhi meet recently on his India Jodo Yatra? Yes, the virulently anti-Hindu pastor George Punaiya, who told him Jesus is the real God, not Shakti. Then there is Shivraj Patil, who claimed Lord Krishna taught
then how is it possible
jihad
that
to
the
Arjuna.
God is worshipped in
Please
the
do
north.
not interrupt
His
Mr.
enemies
Abdul Razack
worshipped in
Khan.
the
Okay, Abdul Razack Khan, let him make his point. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. There are plenty of panelists who have not spoken either.
And in South India, God's enemy is worshipped.
Yeah, one second. Abdul Razack Khan, I'm also coming to Siddaramaiah and whether he was factually correct. So hold your horses. Just a few moments. Yes.
Yes, Madhav, for someone whose immediate ancestors were Hindu, I would expect Mr. Razack Khan to show some respect for Hinduism. I'm not criticizing Islam at all. I'm talking about Hinduism. So as I was saying, the virulently anti-Hindu pastor...
You can have a debate on this.
Madhav, am I allowed to say this or not?
Let him speak. Okay, no personal jibes. No personal jibes. Dr. Ranganathan.
This is not a personal jibe, it's a fact. 99.99% of Muslims have been converted from Hinduism.
Okay. I don't want to sidetrack this debate. Please, Dr. Ranganathan, make your point.
Yes. So as I was saying, there is Shivraj Patil who claimed Lord Krishna taught jihad to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. And recall how Mahila Congress leader Lavanya Balal made a Gaumutra jibe, same as that Pulwama bomber. Then an alleged post by a Congress youth wing leader Shaukat Ali called Hinduism a terrorist religion, and recently a Goa Congress leader Jalmi termed Hindu god Parshuram as a terrorist and a rapist.
Okay.
So there is a history behind this, Madhav. You have to see this in the context of how Congress perceives Hindus and Hinduism.
Okay. Let me bring in Nikhil Jain now. Nikhil Jain, now you heard the arguments of Dr. Ranganathan. He's given a number of instances. And my only question is this. We all know what's happened earlier this week. You've also participated in some debates. Now, the question that even Rajiv Chandrasekhar is asking is that, is there a pattern in this? Is there a planned attack? And is this an attempt at keeping the pot boiling? Because Dr. Ranganathan and several members of the BJP say that this is a planned strategy and that there is a long history of this so-called quote-unquote Hindu hate. This is their claim.
See, Madhav, first of all, I'll not go into the instances that Dr. Ranganathan pointed from earlier times.
Are they factually incorrect?
They may or may not be. To be very honest, I am not prepared on that. I know about the current incident. Let's talk about the current incident, because see, a lot of times, Dr. Ranganathan, one minute. The point is that a lot of times statements are taken out of context, as was Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement was taken out of context this time, as is K. Parmeshwaram's statement is being taken out of context this time, as is Mr. Priyank Kharge's
K.
statement
Parmeshwara, by the way.
Wow.
That's his name.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So can I please...
As is Priyank Kharge's statement being taken out of context this time. What did Udhayanidhi Stalin say? He has issued a clarification saying that I was talking about the eradication of caste oppression prevalent within a certain religion. He never said that abolish that religion. BJP has been going around telling the country that Udhayanidhi Stalin said... Dr. Ranganathan, I did not interrupt. Udhayanidhi Stalin never said...
When it comes to corona, they have to be... What do we do with them?
He went on a Sanatan eradication conclave.
A minute.
I mean, for crying out loud.
A minute. He never used the word Hinduism. He only talked about caste oppression. Karti Chidambaram from the Congress has clarified that when you're talking in the Tamil context, the word specific Sanatan only, not Sanatan Dharam, Sanatan only refers to those practices that that propagate caste discrimination, and that is what Udhayanidhi Stalin made a statement against.
No, but
let's talk about the statement of
Nikhil Jain, by getting into this line of debate, you're going down a very slippery slope. There have been leaders of the Congress party who've been at pains to clarify that we were only trying to attack the caste system. Unfortunately, even Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin has gone quiet now. The DMK is
not on this panel. He doubled down on that, Madhav. He doubled down on that.
But we are seeing leaders from the Karnataka, the neighboring state. All right, Dr. Ranganathan wants to quickly counter you. Quick 20 seconds. Quick 20 seconds. All right, Dr. Ranganathan, quick 20 seconds.
Nikhil is a great guy, a great friend, but I must tell him that he must look at the statements that even Mamata Banerjee has made opposing Udhayanidhi Stalin. He must look at what his own colleague Tehseen has said about it. Udhayanidhi has been shifting the goalposts. He says that he included all religions, not just Hinduism. Can Nikhil tell me the statement of Udhayanidhi where he says that Islam and Christianity also must be eradicated like malaria? If you do not understand Hindi or English, you understand Italian symbolism. Please do not do this, Nikhil. You are a Congressee. Please do not do this.
One thing, Dr. Ranganathan, I'll be very honest and candid on the show. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I was on a news debate and I denounced the same statement. That is until I read the clarification.
I appreciate
that he was not talking about Hinduism. He was talking about the caste oppression.
He's talking about Sanatan Dharma. How are you going to distinguish Sanatan Dharma from Hindu religion? Please tell me this. Please tell me this. How the two are distinct? Explain to me how the two are distinct.
The exact verbatim was Sanatan and
how are Sanatan Dharma and Hindu religion distinct? Nikhil, simple question. Forget what Udhayanidhi Stalin said. You tell me how are they different?
Correct. Simple answer. He never said Sanatan Dharma.
Not what he said. You tell me, according to your belief, how are Sanatan Dharma and Hindu religion separate? Explain it to our viewers. I'm giving you 30 seconds.
All right. According to my understanding, Hinduism has been a way of life. There are different sects and different practices and different sets of rules. Sanatan Dharma represents only one sect, which is different from the Arya Samaj, which is why you have a different Arya Samaj.
Absolutely not.
So when he's referring to Sanatan, he's referring to those practices within a certain sect of Hindus where there is a problem about caste.
Okay. I'm not getting into this. Karan Verma, I'm going to let you respond. Is that factually correct?
Oh, that is factually absolutely incorrect. First of all, Sanatan Dharma is even more encompassing. If there was an objection to the geographical entity, Sanatan means eternal and Dharma means the one that sustains. So this is something that has always existed for all those who are questioning its origins and will always exist. And for Nikhil, he's drummed up this beat, this caste beat. Let me tell you, caste is a Portuguese word. It is not even mentioned in Sanatan Dharma. In none of the scriptures will you see the word caste. So again, this is where you again land up with your foot in your mouth. The truth is, Madhav, this is a blatant attempt for Muslim appeasement, minority appeasement. That is all they want to do. They want to beat this caste drum and divide the Hindu vote on caste basis and consolidate the minorities. That is all their hideous agenda is.
Okay, let me bring in Ravi Srivastava. Once again, let me bring in Ravi Srivastava. Ravi Srivastava, is this nothing but a blatant attempt at minority appeasement, as Karan Verma and members of the BJP have been saying? Your quick response in the context, of course, what Mr. Parmeshwara and even Siddaramaiah have said.
This is a blatant attempt by the BJP, who are rattled by the India alliance, to divert from the main issues once, to prop up a statement from Udhayanidhi and make a use of it just to polarize people once again. This is a deliberate attempt. As far as Udhayanidhi is concerned, language is rude, but what he has said in the context is absolutely correct. What he has said is the Dravidian philosophy. The
Dravidian is a Sanskrit word to begin with. You don't even know that.
Please, I did not interrupt you.
You did not interrupt. You interrupt on a daily basis.
Yeah, I did not
cannot spew factually incorrect stuff here. Dravida is coming from Trividu, which means surrounded by water by three sides. This is something that was said by Adi Shankaracharya. Aham Dravida Shishu. You don't even know the meaning of Dravid. Do not come up with stuff that you have no knowledge of.
Once again, let him make his point. Allow him. Ravi Srivastava, make your point, please.
The discrimination, the caste discrimination, the women discrimination. What else you want to know about?
One second, Ravi Srivastava, one second.
Water from the west.
Ravi Srivastava,
people to ride on the horse.
One second, Ravi Srivastava, there are several problems with that argument. One second, please, bear with me. Ravi Srivastava, allow me to comment on this. Notwithstanding, I started, of course, by asking you what the BJP is claiming about minority appeasement, so on and so forth. The problem is this. The problem is there no discrimination within other religions? Whether it is Dalits in Christianity who face discrimination, whether it is, in fact, those within Islam, the Pasmandas who face discrimination. Why is it that he's only talking about eradicating one religion?
There is nothing.
Ravi Srivastava, one second, Ravi Srivastava.
Discrimination is in every religion, not that. It's a fact, Priyank.
But why is there only one religion referred to as a question BJP is asking, sir?
Because the DMK's ideology. And when BJP was supporting DMK in Tamil Nadu, why did they not oppose their ideology at that time? Why say you want to polarize before 2024 election?
Who has polarized this?
Okay, one second. There's a BJP spokesperson, let him come in. Vijay Prashad, question is that DMK was an ally of the BJP in the NDA when Mr. Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. Why was this ideology not opposed at that time? That's the question he's asking. Please respond to him.
Madhav, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. See, there is something, what we say as the Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. They are paving way for their own downfall. And there is also a proverb in Hindi which says, Tota Channa Bhajegana, which means a person who does not know anything about a particular subject, in this case Hinduism, tries to show off and tries to show that how smart he is. See, if someone does not know about Hinduism, it just means they don't know about it. Dr. Parmeshwara's memory is slightly shifted due to the influence of this India alliance. Hinduism is not a religion born out of one man or one book. It has no beginning, it has no end. That means there is no Adi, there is no Antya. It is Sanatana Dharma. It is Sanatana Dharma and Bharat is Sanatana Bhumi, because it is a way of life that has been going on for thousands of years with many forms of worship. See, from Aurangzeb to Udhayanidhi Stalin, from Priyank Kharge to Parmeshwara, this soil has survived, even though it has seen many invaders. Congress party is always trying to busy making derogatory comments against majority community. What is more baffling, Madhav, is a person who has got the name Parmeshwara. Dr. Parmeshwara is questioning the origin of Hinduism. And I would like to show one photo.
What name has to do with the Parmeshwara?
Dr.
What name has to do with it?
Parmeshwara is doing Homa and Havana at his home. Did he question about Hinduism? Ravi Srivastava, I did not intervene. I did not. Can you please?
We can't see the photograph. We can't see the photograph. We can't verify it. We can't verify it for our viewers. But what is your allegation? What is the allegation? Mr. Vijay Prashad, what's the allegation?
No. See, when Parmeshwara doing Homa and Havana at his home, did he question the origin of Hinduism at that time? He has got.
But aren't you proving his claim? Aren't you proving his claim? He says, I'm a practicing Hindu. That is his clarification. Aren't you proving that then?
See, no. See, that means they are quite hypocrite.
Okay.
On morning they make one statement. When
Ravi Srivastava, once again, gentlemen, just one second. I see many hands going up. Please calm down. We have time. Ravi Srivastava, this is hypocrisy. Here is Parmeshwar who is criticizing the Parmeshwar and the origins of Hindu religion. Please respond to Mr. Vijay Prashad.
Sanatan Dharma is full of discrimination, inequality, untouchability, and all against the women folks. Now, Siddharamaiah, I come to Siddharamaiah.
Mr. Ravi Srivastava, may I ask you one question, sir? May I ask you one simple question? May I ask you one simple question? Mr. Srivastava, with your permission, I am interrupting you with your permission. Please, bear with me. Just 3 questions. Whether it is the issue of widow remarriage, whether it is the issue of Dalit entry into temples, whether, there are several such social reforms. I don't want to take much time, but all of this has come from within the Hindu religion itself. And it has been pushed by people who believe in the Sanatan Dharma. How can you therefore say that it is discriminatory by nature? I fail to understand that.
Over a number of decades. It has not happened overnight.
Sure.
The religion has to reform.
Sure. But you yourself said that all religions have to reform.
Untouchability.
You yourself said that all religions have to reform, sir.
Today,
all religions have to reform. Social change is a slow process in all religions.
No, but
why single out one?
I will talk about my religion. No, why should I interfere in?
No, Father.
So Udhayanidhi Stalin talking about another religion becomes problematic then?
The problem is, Madhav, see, can these people...
Okay, we've lost that line there. Yeah. Okay, Vijay Prashad, quick response and I go across to others. Yes.
See, with the same tenacity and aggressiveness, can these people talk about other religion? Can they make this kind of statement on a particular important stage and make this kind of...
Abdul Razack Khan. Let Abdul Razack Khan respond. Abdul Razack Khan, Ravi Srivastava says, I will criticize my religion. Wait, will you seek for reform within your religion? That's a question coming from Vijay Prashad. Please respond to him.
Madhav, I am responding. Ask them.
I want Abdul Razack Khan.
Absolutely no need for reforms in Islam. We are a complete religion and we will live by the book.
I'm sorry. It is not about Islam. But if any religion says that they are a complete religion, then there is a problem. One second. Let me just, Abdul Razack Khan, let me stop you right there, because there are a lot of people, you're entitled, anybody is entitled to their faith. Anybody is entitled to progressive, regressive, conservative, religious faith practices. All that is fine. I'm not arguing against that. But Abdul Razack Khan, if you come on national television, or anybody comes on the national television and says that there is no need for any reform at all, that becomes a bit problematic, because there are issues of gender. There are issues of equality. There are issues of... One second, let me complete my point, sir.
Only the Hindus have codified laws. Hindus have accepted reforms more than anyone.
Yeah, so you're seeking reforms in one religion and you're saying that others don't need to reform. Isn't that hypocrisy, Mr. Abdul Razack Khan?
Lord Ram is worshipped in North India and Ravana is worshipped in South India. How can somebody's God's enemy be worshipped? How can you tolerate this?
He does not want...
Lord Ram is worshipped
what are you saying?
North. Ravana is worshipped in the south.
Can I please come in?
Okay, yeah, Dr. Ranganathan wants to respond to you on this.
There needs to be...
Dr. Ranganathan.
Madhav, this is the issue that we have in such debates, where people say that, yes, Hinduism must be reformed, Hinduism is reformed. But when you point out that in Islam, for example, there are verses that say that share of inheritance of a male is going to be twice that of a female. Do not marry a polytheist woman. A Muslim slave is better than a polytheist woman. And a person says that there is no need for reform.
There is logic behind.
There is no... What is the logic behind not allowing Muslims to marry Hindus?
There is logic behind. You are not a true believer.
Ask him.
Sir,
ask him. Madhav,
it is
but Abdul Razack Khan, there is a special marriage act that allows people of any faith to marry anyone else.
This is pointless, because you will not ask Abdul Razack Khan.
No, because he's raising a specific question. How can you say there's no need for reform? I don't understand that question, but be that as it may, Abdul Razack Khan, I don't want to get down this debate because it's very far away from what we are actually debating today. And I want to ask a simple question of Nikhil Jain. Nikhil Jain, are you aware of what Mr. Siddaramaiah, and of course this is the comment from the 31st that has come to light today. He made that comment on the 31st. He is alleging he was discriminated against. You heard the reactions of several experts from Kerala who say that if you enter certain temples, there are rules. So, not all, but certain temples, they follow traditional rules which don't allow shirts. He says only I was asked to do that, not others. And this is absolutely bizarre. There are those who will vouch for the fact that this is not factually correct at all. How can the Chief Minister make such an irresponsible comment?
See, Madhav, first of all, I'd like to complete what I was saying earlier. That
no, please answer the question I'm asking you first.
All right. So, are we forgetting the Sabrimala judgment? That the temple practices prevented certain menstruating women from entering the temple, and the Supreme Court of India held that that is discriminatory against women, and therefore entry of women of menstruating age, they should be allowed into the temple. This is exactly the kind of social reform we are talking about. Triple talaq was a bad practice.
Was that not stayed later? Was that not stayed later by the same Supreme Court?
Nikhil Jain being advocate.
Are you aware of that, Nikhil Jain?
Actually correct.
Nikhil Jain being advocate to go back and read the judgment.
Yeah, okay, Dr. Ranganathan. Okay, I'm coming. Mr. Prashad, I'm coming to you. I want Dr. Ranganathan to come in. Yeah.
Madhav, when my good friend Nikhil talks about menstruating women and their rights, can I please ask him if a menstruating Muslim woman is allowed to touch the Quran? Can I please ask him if a Catholic woman is allowed to be consecrated as a priest? And if not, why does cat gets his tongue when it comes to asking for reforms in other religions? This is the problem. Problem is not asking for reforms in Hinduism. Problem is your shameless hypocrisy, Nikhil.
I am saying.
May I respond to that, Madhav? Because it's a personal question.
Okay, yes, please respond. You must respond to this.
I agree with Dr. Ranganathan that whichever religion it is, whether it is Hinduism, Islam or Christianity, social reform is needed. If triple talaq is wrong, it should go away. If menstruating women cannot enter into a temple, they should be allowed to... I'm sorry?
Sure. I'm saying triple talaq is not a commandment of the Quran. I'm talking about whether there is, tell Abdul Razack Khan that some verses of the Quran may need reform. Ask him.
I agree with you. Dr. Ranganathan, I agree with you for once.
Ask him.
For once, I agree with you. I disagree with the statement of Abdul Razack Khan when he says that Islam needs no reform. I feel every single religion came into being thousands of years ago. The social context is different today. Religions need reform. That is what governments are to do, and that is what governments and the courts of the country are doing. And there is nothing wrong with that. And that brings me back to the original topic, that when Siddaramaiah is saying that he was discriminated in a temple for belonging to a so-called lower caste, that is wrong. That should not happen in modern India.
Is there anything to prove that has happened? At the moment, there is none, except for the statement of the Chief Minister. But I want to ask this question of the BJP spokesperson. Mr. Vijay Prashad, how do we know for a fact that this has not happened?
No. See, when CM Siddaramaiah has made the statement, he has to mention in which temple he was discriminated. See, in certain temples, if you go throughout the South India, there are certain rules. There are certain this one they have to follow. They have to follow. See, they have to follow. See, if they have to follow certain rules and regulations, they have to follow it, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, you don't go to the temple. Why do you want to go to the temple and make this kind of discriminatory? No. Why do you want to?
Gurdwara, does he not cover his head? Does he not cover his head in the when he goes to Golden Temple?
He will cover it. He will cover it. See, if Siddaramaiah has got problems. See, when he went to Dharmasthala,
Golden Temple.
Golden Temple. He has to cover his head. And likewise, when he went to Dharmasthala Temple, Siddaramaiah openly said, "I went to the temple after eating a fish food." Do you think this kind has to be reformed? The person who has to reform is the mindset of this kind of people.
So the basic respect, Ravi Srivastava, the basic respect for the religion has to be there, and the belief has to be there.
10 seconds, Madhav.
Okay, make your point quickly.
The three panelists who are at the bottom of the screen, if you carefully watch their arguments, they try to shifting their goalpost as and when we try to question the one particular religion, why they cannot be reformed. It can be Christianity, it can be Muslims. What Anand said, they're trying to shift their goalpost. When it comes to Hinduism, they are so aggressive, and they openly tell that Hinduism has to be reformed.
Okay, Ravi Srivastava.
This is the kind of hypocrisy that we are living with.
Goalposts are shifted routinely. Of course, that's a criticism that many politicians would have. But please respond to Vijay Prashad. Ravi Srivastava.
See, as far as Siddaramaiah's statement is concerned, that is factually incorrect, because it was not a discrimination. If that particular temple, whether it is Guruvayur or whether it is Padmanabha, Thiruvananthapuram, you have to change the attire, you have to remove all your clothes, you have to wear a dhoti provided over there and then enter it. Now, as far as his religion is concerned or his caste is concerned, if he is discriminated on that particular aspect, I think it is incorrect. And that does happen across the country. There is untouchability. People are not permitted to go in. The lower caste people, SC, ST, OBC people are not permitted to worship inside the temple or go up to the deity over there. It's a factual thing, and this is
Karan
not a reform.
Karan Verma responds to that. He says that caste is a reality today. There are still temples where there are discrimination that happens. Please respond to the point being made by Ravi Srivastava.
Ravi ji is right that name doesn't suggest much. Just as his name is Ravi, which means sun, but his ignorance is so dark that it's unbelievable. The word caste doesn't exist in any of our scriptures. What is written in our Bhagavad Gita is Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Gun और कर्म के आधार पे चार वर्ण है, कहीं पे भी कास्ट वर्ड नहीं है. पर रवि श्रीवास्तव के बात नहीं समझ में आएगी, क्योंकि रवि श्रीवास्तव नहीं पढ़ते लिखते.
No, but you know, Karan,
if there is discrimination, that is wrong.
Karan, you're just contradicting yourself.
It doesn't get any sanction from Sanatan Dharma.
I'm sorry,
that is
Karan.
what I'm saying.
I was about to ask you this question.
In Islam, there is sanction for women getting half the rights as man. Do they have the guts to condemn that? No, because they will face the Sar Tan Se Juda music.
Okay,
they know
one
that.
second, one second.
There is no sanction from Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan, in fact, is the only faith which endorses secularism.
Karen, let me just come in now.
Ekam sat viprabha vadanti.
Absolutely.
Which is the ethos of our secularism.
Absolutely. There's a tolerance and accepting of all faiths, all beliefs. Even within Hinduism, there are so many different plethora of beliefs. But let me ask you one simple question. Yes. And I'm asking you this on the basis of what an author, Devdutt Patnaik, and I was about to ask you this before you began speaking, in fact.
Yes.
What you referred to as far as the Varna system,
yes,
quoted from the Gita,
yes,
if there are references to the Varna system, then there will be those who will question whether there is in fact, this Varna system that forms the basis of the caste system. Eventually, one second. I want Karan to respond to that.
Yes.
One second.
Yes, I want
one second, please. 1 second. Karan.
What is the verse? Chatur Varnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagsha. Gun, not birth. Gun, jo aapke andar ability ho. कर्म जो आप काम करते हो उसके बेसिस पे if Madhav is a good speaker, Madhav will get that role. If Dr. Anand Ranganathan is a professor, he becomes a professor. He gives gyan. If somebody is well built, he can be a Kshatriya. He can defend the borders. So it is based on karma and good. Caste is nowhere there in anywhere on the basis of birth. So if Devdutt Patnaik is misconstruing this, it shows his ignorance just as Ravi Srivastav's ignorance.
Okay, Ravi wants to respond to you. Ravi Srivastav.
So can he, let him respond to me. Can he become a Brahmin also? Just
of course. To me. If I am a professor, if I am teaching, then I am a Brahmin. Okay. It has nothing to do with surname. It has nothing to do with birth.
That is the trouble. That
is your trouble, sir. That is trouble in your mind.
How do you prevent misuse? Dr. Ranganathan, how do you prevent misuse? It may have come out with very laudable ideals and, very laudable, ideas may have been there behind this particular thought. But then how do you prevent its misuse? That's a question that many would ask.
Madhav, I don't know what you have against me. I've given you Mysore Pak so many times. In 40 minutes, I've got barely
I've also allowed you to speak so many times in this debate. Don't say that, Dr. Ranganathan. Karan Verma is in fact asking me why I'm discriminating against him.
Yes.
This is a very difficult argument. Dr. Abdul Razack Khan will ask me why I'm shutting him down now.
This is
not correct, Dr. Ranganathan.
I want to make two very quick points. Number one, when somebody, even from the opposite side, quote unquote, says something laudatory, it has to be applauded. So today, let me applaud what Advocate Nikhil Jain has said, or let me say soon to be suspended Advocate Nikhil Jain for what his bravery, and I applaud what he said. He is not a hypocrite, at least tonight. Number two, I'm sorry, Madhav, please don't take it another way, but Devdutt knows as much about Hinduism as Einstein's cook knew about theory of relativity. For him to talk about Varna system and conflate it with caste is just absolutely ridiculous. Yes, the laudable goals were there, but is it Sanatan Dharma's fault that as time progressed they were mangled into something that Sanatan Dharma didn't have a view for it to be mangled in? And in fact, talking of mangling, it is Mahatma Gandhi who actually promoted hereditary Varna. So Mahatma Gandhi was pro-casteism. Nobody talks about this. He remains father of the nation. But you castigate Sanatan
But he also worked for the upliftment of Harijans. Let's also set the record straight, please. Dr. Ranganathan, let's not say that he was promoting casteism. He did speak up. He did speak up for who he believed were the Harijans, who are the most deprived. Yeah. Come on. Let's not get into that debate. You can have your ideas. You can object to Mahatma Gandhi also. There is freedom of speech in this country.
Let's talk about facts here. Let's talk about facts. You talk about what Ambedkar said about Gandhi's view on Harijans, and everything would be clear.
Okay. I'm going to request everyone, and we've had a very interesting, very heated debate. All points of view being debated here, and perhaps that's the beauty of Indian democracy. Everyone has their say, everyone has a different opinion, and we can all agree to disagree if we want to. That's the beauty of it. Let's leave it there for the moment, gentlemen. Completely out of time. I'd like to thank all our guests: Vijay Prashad, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, Karan Verma, Advocate Nikhil Jain, Abdul Razack Khan, Ravi Srivastav. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.